Let's settle for our first story. Now, the Pensioner Bondholders Forum says it has ended its picketing of the Ministry of Finance to demand an exemption from the domestic debt exchange program. This decision follows an announcement by Finance Minister Ken Ofori-Atta in Parliament that pensioner bondholders who did not sign up for the exchange program were exempted. Parliamentary Affairs correspondent Akakpo Asante now reports.
It's been days of picketing, but finally the Pensioner Bondholders Forum have gotten what they have always asked for. The Finance Minister Ken Ofori-Atta has announced publicly for the first time and here in Parliament that pensioners who did not sign up for the debt exchange program are exempt from the program and their coupons will be honored when they fall due. They have been chasing this for some time now. They had the boost when the former Chief Justice Sophia Kufu joined them for that protest at the Finance Ministry. In Parliament today, they have gotten that. Here's the Finance Minister on the floor.
Public debt at general government level, including SOEs, ESLA and DACHI, its present value terms was 103% of our GDP compared to the debt sustainability limit of 55% for countries with medium debt carrying capacity. Mr. Speaker, I subsequently wrote to their convener, letting him know, Mr. Speaker, that all pensioners who did not participate in the bond offering are exempted. Mr. Speaker.
After this presentation by the Finance Minister Ken Ofori-Atta, the minority MPs tore into his presentation. They argued that the minister must accept full responsibility for what the economy is currently. For some of them, they do not even understand why Ken Ofori-Atta is still at post. Here are some of the things minority MP said after that presentation by Finance Minister Ken Ofori-Atta.
How can this group of people that call themselves property-owning Democrats are the ones collecting people's properties? There must be consequences. People cannot destroy our livelihood. People cannot ruin us. And when you ask them to leave their office, they say they will move. A job that we are not paying you, you are not willing to resign. And every day you are giving us one funeral after the other. If you evaluate what the finance minister is doing and evaluate what number one of men's gold did, the two are synonymous and the same.
His vice president, his finance minister, they are in a bubble. It's even so annoying when the finance minister met them. The finance minister, all he had to tell them was that Boaminamin Boao. You are actually doing Boaminamin Sieu.
Majority MPs on the other side acknowledge the difficult times Ghanaians are facing, but said that this is a bitter pill that is necessary to help the country get back on its feet.
In addition to that, Mr. Speaker, there are three outstanding revenue measures that we believe that if we should pass, will also help us reach an agreement come March.
I also speak to ourselves as members of Parliament. In cutting expenditure, charity must begin at home, and we must lead by example.
The government could perform its statutory obligation was resort to debt financing because revenue generation domestically was an uncontrollable situation. And what do we do today? Do we continue to allow Ghana to get destroyed because of politics?
Well, for his part, Speaker of Parliament Alban Bagbin was categorical in his instruction to Finance Minister Ken Ofori-Atta to leave pensioners alone.
I'm happy to hear that they are exempted, and what I can tell you is that leave our pensioners alone.
Yes. I have no other thing to do than exemption has been given. This is in the records of Parliament. Even though having received the letter, the records of Parliament is there, it's clear.
It means the picketing has ended.
It has ended. And Ghana, our beloved country, is free forever.
So, Honorable, what do you make of the debates on both sides?
Well, it's good they spoke about all this. You see, we shouldn't have taken our elderly through this process. But of course, it shows that this country, there will always be people who will stand up for some of these things.
Finance Minister Ken Ofori-Atta has finally exempted pensioner bondholders who did not sign up for the domestic exchange program. Reporting for Joy News, Akakpo Asante, Parliament House, Accra.
Well, from Parliament, let's talk about some 200,000 junior high school graduates who are yet to be placed in senior high schools. This follows the placement of some 400,000 candidates who sat the Basic Education Certificate examination last year. Some affected parents and pupils gathered at the Nat Hall on Thursday to secure placement into available senior high schools across the country. James Kwesiaveji witnessed the process and came through with this report.
From loudspeakers, coordinators shout instructions from every direction of the hall. Hundreds of students, some with their parents, have gathered here to secure placement into various senior high schools across the country. According to the Ghana Education Service, 165,601 candidates out of the total 538,399 will have to do self-placement because they did not match any of their preferred schools. Some of them have been sharing their frustration.
There's a grading system. We know that from 6 to 9, you get your first class school or A school. Then from the 10 to I think about 16 or so, you have your grade B school. That is what has been given to us. So if my child has gotten 9, she deserves to have her the A school. I mean, it's also good for you to have your child in the A school to compete with people of that class.
I didn't have the school. I graded 1, but I didn't have the school.
You didn't what?
I didn't have the school.
At all?
Yeah.
You were not placed in any school?
No.
Okay. So now you want to be placed in a school. Any particular school you would want to go?
Yeah.
What school?
Maybe Kibi Senior High or New Joabin Senior High Technic.
To go and do what course?
General Arts.
General Arts.
Yes.
What's your grade?
31.
31?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, it be the way it take it. Me, I don't like body. Because body school still not have money, it dey worry you. Your doctor go make basa. Same money not in your pocket, it go worry. So I talk to you say make take day. But all me say day no say I chop gari, you need to go chop gari.
Deputy Coordinator for Free SHS, Nana Afra Sikamensa, has been explaining the process.
Oh, we are doing it for the category B and then the category C schools. You know, those schools are a bit empty, so we need to fill up those empty spaces in those schools. So that is what we are doing here. We have students in the STEM schools, but you know, it's a new schools and it's a new school that are coming on board, so we want to increase enrollment in those schools. That is why we are doing a lot of education on the STEM schools. When you go to Pasimpe, we have a lot of facilities in those schools, but the number is less, so we need to increase enrollment in those schools. That is why we are preaching, or we are educating parents on the STEM schools here.
She has also warned parents and the general public against paying money to middlemen to influence the placement process.
The exercise we are doing here is basically free. We are not supposed to pay anything. That is why this year we have tax here, just to signify those who are staff and you are working. So when we see those in tax, they are the people you have to submit your issues to. If anybody meets you outside and tell you that you have to pay something, you shouldn't pay anything to the person. Come to the NAT or don't talk to any security man, any cleaner at the gate, but just come to the Bediakon Hall Street. We have staff here, well trained, and then they will address all their issues for you.
Some of the parents and students who went through the process are hopeful they will secure placement before schools reopen on Monday.
As a self-placement, so we came in, they just told us what to do. The process is very simple. We wrote the schools that we want behind the placement form that we printed out. Then we wrote the schools that we wanted him to go. We wrote it behind the form, we just submitted it. So they said we should give them by Saturday or Sunday. We can go and check it. And probably maybe something good will come out. So it's good. We didn't spend that much time here. Yeah, the process is not bad. Everything is fine.
According to the academic calendar of the Ghana Education Service, all fresh students are expected to report to their various schools on Monday, February 20, 2023. But whether all these people will be placed by then, only time will tell. James Kwesiaveji's report read to you.
Now, students of the Etimetim Mase RC Primary and Junior High School in the Efija-Kwabre South district of the Ashanti region are asking government to fix the dilapidated structures they learn in. The students, numbering more than 400, say they are scared to sit and learn under loose buildings. The school also lacks basic study resources, which is affecting academic work. Love FM's Clinton Yeboah was there and filed this report.
The Etimetimase RC Primary and Junior High School has not seen any major rehabilitation since its establishment in 1950. Broken windows hang by the thread. So this is the class 4A block. It was constructed to accommodate the surplus intakes. Unfortunately, squeaking doors with loose hinges and bolt locks give intruders unfettered access to the classrooms. The old, weak and cracked blocks yearn for renovation. A closer look at the window frames reveals rusted welded metal wires exposing their sharp teeth. Parts of the aluminium roofing sheets are rusting away. Meanwhile, their remains hang loosely on tiny erected concrete pillars. The plight of students at Etimetimase RC Primary and JHS is worsened when it rains. Class sessions end unexpectedly whenever the cloud gather. Aside from its dilapidating state, the school, serving over 400 pupils, lacks modern educational facilities and essential resources like desks and textbooks. Sanitary conditions at the school is an eyesore. It will be very difficult to get close to the toilet facility behind me, considering how dilapidated it is and how unhygienic it is. Unfortunately, the facility has been hijacked by residents here, and criminals have also inhabited the place.
If you follow your toilet, no, afa, say be ama your teachers for no clown part to toilet in himself, one toilet in the say, toilet do be a chocolate coffee.
Parents and residents are worried by the situation.
Now, Bebana Sebe, a conforming United me the since in school, and one school in Tumpon, and then I say, Ohana motor ball a collebi, Omupia rough, a quine who had a meton a day, and Obabana way across the road in it, and Obabana way after her and school. No, I had that school day or we are. School, a bit my part at any time. School, no, school at it. A queen be near Nintini be now to say a school no, the Gina be any baby a corner. Yame, Mamma Penny Farmer boy, and I feel so your best at you, Nimdi Bessie.
This is how exciting people are to study. All they seek for is a conducive environment that does not threaten their lives. Reporting for Joy News, Clinton Yeboah.
Now, let's talk about scaling up innovative research that addresses Africa's challenges, which has become crucial in the 21st century. However, most research works with commercial potential on the continent remain on the shelves of universities. The Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology organized a workshop to valorize research results as part of activities towards fulfilling its mandate as an entrepreneurial university. There's more in this report.
The training, funded by the Building Stronger Universities of the Danish Ministry of Foreign Affairs, was a partnership with the Kumasi Business Incubator. 55 lecturers and student researchers benefited from the hands-on workshop. The participants were taken through research commercialization, market push versus technology pull, design thinking and idea pitching to investors. Project lead Professor William Odro, in his welcome address, urged the participants to translate their research results into products, stating that it is the surest way for Ghana to attain accelerated development.
So what am I saying? I'm saying an Africa problem is here. So this is the university-driven thing. The universities, all the universities in Africa. Nelson Mandela University, which is a new university that has come up from South Africa and Tanzania, they have tried, they've understood this, and they want to change that. So they are running a graduate school. It's all graduates, and they have very small population. When you go there, they just look at entrepreneurship and that. So what?
The director of the Kumasi Business Incubator, Mr. Samuel Akomia, called for interdisciplinary collaboration to ensure efficiency in business startups. He again urged the investors to find creative ways to secure funds for their projects. He believes communication is key.
Stakeholders, including private sector, alumni, and sometimes bilateral partners, and also NGOs and so on, that want to do business or do research with the institution. They also come up with funding. And all depends on how you have communicated your previous project outcomes.
In our next story, Upper West Regional Minister Dr. Hafiz bin Saleh has warned that the Regional Security Council will not sit unconcerned for the security of the region to be compromised. He says his outfit is more interested in the accelerated development of the region. Addressing chiefs and people of the Pulima traditional area, Dr. bin Saleh stated he wouldn't allow any individual or group to hold the region to ransom. Rafiq Salam reports.
One major concern of the people of the Upper West region, particularly the Sisal Enclave, is the Wahentumu Highway. It is the country's 13th most important highway, but has never been given the needed attention. It is bumpy, deplorable, and could be mistaken for a rice paddy pitch during the rainy season. The 75-kilometer project is always awarded piecemeal, and its construction is as old as the Fourth Republic. It has featured regularly in every government's budget that has ruled this country since the beginning of the Fourth Republic, and yet less than 53 kilometers of the entire 143-kilometer stretch is covered with bitumen.
For us to get to the point that we are now was not a child's play. We had to meet all those who call the shots in this country for the contract to be awarded. As you may all know, the entire stretch was awarded to one contractor, Greenhouse, but at a point in time, I had to advise the Minister for Roads and Highways for that contract to be terminated and awarded to 5 different contractors. And the rationale is for the quick execution of the project.
Despite the spirited effort put up by government to construct the remaining 75 kilometers, the lives of workers of one of the 5 contractors taxed by the government to execute the project are threatened over a disputed parcel of farmland used as a gravel pit, forcing them to temporarily halt the project for almost 3 weeks. Prior to the stoppage, there was confusion in the Polomo community following the firing of guns by one of the feudum factions. Aliu Salifu Idrisu is the project manager of Pascal Investment Limited.
We were at the site there, and then the community, the youth, they mobilized, and then they came, said they are coming to guide us so that nobody can come and sack us from the pits. So we're there, and then they called one of the community members that they had a gunshot in their community. So those guys, they all rushed to the town. Then I told my people that then we have to stop working.
Now, the National Health Insurance Authority is exploring measures to improve healthcare delivery in Ghana. According to the Chief Executive of the NHIA, Dr. Bernard Okoboy, there is the need to implement a value-based care system rather than the current one, which is focused on volumes. He made these comments at the opening of a 5-day workshop organized by Farm Access Foundation and partners in developing and piloting a value-based care model for Ghana. There is more in this report.
It has faced a number of challenges that have hampered the need. The National Health Insurance Scheme was established in 2004 in a bid to achieve universal health care. The scheme aims to provide all citizens with equitable access to basic health care. It has faced a number of challenges that have hampered the needed healthcare delivery. Farm Access and its partners, Leapfrog to Value and the Christian Health Association of Ghana, are working with the National Health Insurance Authority to develop and pilot a new value-based care model. Speaking on the sidelines of a workshop in Accra, the Chief Executive of the National Health Insurance Authority, Dr. Bernard Okoboy, said value-based care is a panacea to the provision of better health care.
The National Health Insurance Authority is now going towards electronic management of its claims process. And this electronic management or digitized process allows us now to consolidate and crystallize all the information we have about Ghanaians who attend hospitals. And that is where value-based care comes in. So that if, let's say, 2 conditions account for 80% of all hospital attendance, it will be in the interest of this country, based on the data we have, to do something about these 2 conditions. And value-based care allows you to invest in interventions that would even prevent people from presenting with these conditions.
The current insurance system rewards the value of healthcare delivered rather than outcomes. The reverse, according to the Executive Director of the Christian Health Association of Ghana, will reduce the burden on the scheme in paying claims.
It is the intent of the government and indeed the entire society to ensure that everyone living in the country will have access to quality healthcare, the highest attainable healthcare, timely, without any financial barrier or restriction. If that is the case, that anyone living in the remote segment of the country will have the same level of care as in Accra and the rest, what it means that we must ensure value.
And that is how we cap off the news this morning. But stay with us. We dig into the papers. I, together with Samuel Kojobrace, shortly. We'll be right back.